Hey, this is Keith with inTech, and we're here today to talk about the Flyer Pursue. So Pursue is one of our smaller flyers. It's got more of the design just for crawling in and sleeping, but getting all your gear out to the site. Pursue is going to only be about 1,500 pounds, depending how it's equipped. That'll be on the upper end of its weight. It's going to be an all aluminum skin on the exterior, but what really sets Pursue apart is the way it's constructed. So let's take a look at that. All right, so this is what's going to set inTech apart from anything else you're going to look at out there. This is an all aluminum chassis, completely built and welded in-house by inTech. And then on top of that, you're going to see our welded cage frame. So as opposed to how most RVs are built, where you have separate walls and roofs that are either screwed or stapled together, trying to twist free from one another while going down the road, this is a solid aluminum structure completely welded together, and this is how every inTech starts before it gets built down our production line. Alright, so that's the structure of an inTech, but now as you look at the exterior, you're going to see it's completely aluminum skinned, and that aluminum skinning is VHB taped to the structure that we were just looking at. So you're not going to see any screws or rivets on the outside of the camper. Looking at the front here, you're going to see they all come standard with a tongue box. This gives you a nice storage area up front. Also inside this one's going to be equipped with our optional kitchen, which I'll explain more about later, which that's what you're seeing this LP tank holder in here for. Coming around to the side, this will be your exterior kitchen option. So most of the times you're going to place these on the Pursue. You can do it without this option, and then you would no longer have this door here. Instead, on the inside cabinet that we'll see, you'd have cabinet doors there that give you access into this front area of the camper. If you do option in the kitchen though, it comes with a little safety latch. So you take this latch down here and twist it to hold it in the open position. Now that allows the kitchen to come free. And you have a nice little built-in assembly here where you've got this table meant to give you some prep space on the side of the unit. Just pops off over the top of the cooler. Uses these buttons right here in the front, and now you have an L-shaped kitchen area. You'll even see we put a couple of outlets here. We put a little light across the top here, so in the evenings or mornings you can shoot light across your kitchen area. It's going to come standard with a refrigerator that has an onboard compressor, so you can set it to whatever temperature you want to, and it's going to hold that temp for you. And this is a 45-quart fridge. Over on this side then, you're going to have a 2-burner LP stove. And the way this LP system works is you got a couple of different options. So when we were looking in the front tongue compartment there, I showed you there was an LP tank holder. That LP tank holder can actually mount, if you look on the instructions in the packet, it mounts right here below the table. And then it's got a cable that comes, or a LP line that comes over and hooks right here to the bottom. Or what you can do, which is maybe more convenient, is use the 1-pound LP bottles. So on the front of that LP line, there's a little connection piece you pull off, hooks to your bottle, and it hooks in right here below the cooktop. And 1-pound bottles are easy to find, easy to use, but you got either option available to you there. When you close up the kitchen, here again, you just want to make sure you use that safety latch. Tell your customers use that safety latch when they're going down the road. Just with all that weight, we want to ensure nothing can come popping open on them as they're in transit. Coming down the side, you're going to see a nice large entry door to the inside. You're going to notice this has what we call our adventure package on it. And adventure package is going to give you these more aggressive looking tires. They're going to be a larger tire. You're going to have the black rim on it. It's also going to give you your kitchen option that we just looked at. It's going to give you your air conditioner and your roof rack options that we'll look at here coming forward. So that's a popular package on all the Flyer products. This little side step here that comes out from the door, that's actually a welded part of the frame. So if you're working at something up on the roof, you can stand on this, and this is the structure of the unit, so you got plenty of strength there to get up above. Up top, you're going to see we have the roof rack. Again, that was part of that adventure package, or you can do an individual option on that. This has adjustable crossbars on it, so you can place those crossbars wherever you like. It is rated to hold 250 pounds. So a lot of people are wanting to put rooftop tents on them, which will work with most tents. Most of them weigh 100 pounds or less. And then you'll see we hang a awning off the side of this one. This is the optional 270-degree awning. It wraps and goes all the way around the front of the unit and even extends out a little bit towards the back, which is nice because it gives you good coverage over your kitchen prep area. So here on the back side of the unit, you're going to see it's got two large double doors, which make it great for entry into the camper. You are going to have a loading light here in the back, and this is actually on a switch, so you can flip that switch, give you light off the back end of the unit. You'll see we have our 2-inch receiver down below. That's rated for 175 pounds, so you can fit a bike rack on there. Even your heavier bikes like e-bikes will typically work on this setup here. Coming around to this side of the unit, the Pursue comes with a full-size spare tire. So here again, we talked about we have the Adventure package on here, which gets you these bigger wheels with the black wheel and the bigger tire on it. So I'll have a matching one. If you didn't have that upgrade, you'd have the standard aluminum wheel and the standard size on there for your spare as well. To the side over here, you're going to have your battery box. This is a nice little compartment here, seals off the battery. It's going to come set up for a lead acid battery, so you're going to have ventilation in and out of the box. You do have room here to switch this over and do lithium. We'll show you on the inside how you do that on your converter. Up top then, you're going to have a 35 amp or a 30 amp short cord plug-in station there. We do put a coax cable on here, and that does feed to the inside. So while we don't put a TV inside the unit, if you were to add one and you had the ability to get cable or a antenna at the campsite, you could plug it in right there. And then we have our ZAMP plug-in here as well. So this is a portable ZAMP system, can plug right into the side, and then that feeds directly to your battery. Also in the battery box area, you'll find your battery switch. So you have an on-off. Once you're done camping, you can turn that off. You don't have to worry about pulling any power from the battery. All right, well, let's pop around back and we'll take a look at the inside. So the two large double doors in the rear really make it nice for loading gear and cargo. There is actually an optional add-a-room tent that you can add onto these. Every one comes standard or standard prepped for it. So you'll have hooks on the roof of the unit. You'll also have hooks on the side fenders to where you could always add on the add-a-room tent, which really expands the living space inside this camper. On the inside, you have a nice sized floor here. You'll see we use our Infinity woven flooring on the Pursue, and this is a flooring commonly used in the marine industry. It's very durable against being from cuts, scratches, and also anything with stains. Cleans up just as simple as brooming it out. If you do have some sort of stain on there or something more aggressive, soap and water will pretty much always take care of that. You also see it always has two mattresses. So these mattresses lie side by side to give you a 60 by 80 bed on the interior. And then you can also stack them up out of the way if you're loading gear and cargo on the inside of the camper. All the walls on a flyer are always going to be carpet. And you'll see it's going to be carpet over a 3/8 plywood wall. And the goal of this is, you'll find with most flyer people, they love to customize their units. Now with your ceiling and your wall and even your floor being all 3/8 on the ceiling and wall and 3/4 on your floor, you can go through and you can add anything you want. You know, if you're adding TVs, you're adding storage compartments, you're adding fishing line holders or gun racks, anything easy to add on to the inside of the flyer Pursue. Up across the front, you're going to have a cabinet, and that's blocking that kitchen that's sliding out to the exterior of the unit. If they didn't option the kitchen, this is where you would see now having doors on the inside and storage from the interior. You'll have a couple of speakers up front going into your stereo located there on the front wall as well. Try and give you a few plugs so you have some 120 volt options. You also have some 12 volt options available up there. In the far front, you're going to see the converter box. That's a 35 amp converter. It's going to be set up as lead acid like we were talking about on the outside. But if you wanted to switch it over to lithium, you could. There's a little switch instructions there, and it will set itself up to charge lithium batteries as well. For ventilation, you're going to see we have 11,000 BTU AC. This also has a 5,000 BTU heat strip in it. So for this little box that we're in here, it is more than enough to keep you cool or warm no matter what the temperatures are. All the controls are right here on board on the AC. Also for ventilation, since that's obviously going to be running off of your 120 volt system, we do have a 12 volt max air fan. This thing operates with a remote. Nice thing about this system is it actually has a hood on it that's designed to be able to run in the rain. So it actually comes up like this, breathes out the bottom, so then you can run it even if it's raining outside. This control does also have a thermostat setting on it, so it can only do so much. It can only work with the exterior or interior air temperature, but it will exhaust out or pull in air depending on what you're trying to do with the temperature inside the unit. A couple of lights on board here. You're going to have some porch lights for the exteriors we looked at. They're both on the curb side of the unit, one up by the kitchen, one over here by the door. You're going to have your overhead light switch, and then you're also going to have a switch for some little accent lights that are up on the front cabinet. And those are kind of nice in the evening time if you don't want as intense a light coming down. You kick those on, you get a little bit of a softer light at night.